Did you move the light
Wendy
closer?
Bell Radio is live.
Hi. Did you move the light closer because it makes me look less 51?
No, I didn't think light could work miracles like that.
Wow. Good illumination is a woman's best friend, as long as it's not in the ladies' room when you're trying on bathing suits. Okay, then that's out of the way. Hi, everybody. Ooh, I got a little update. This is a 2. Both devices. This is exciting. Well, knowing that Facebook is silencing or censoring conservatives, this is a good step. I know, right? What do you guys think? Do you like the shirts? I love yours.
I did wash mine.
I washed mine too.
We put them on
at the bar
on Friday for like a picture, but
wow.
Then I took it home and washed it.
Why are you telling people that?
Because I don't want them to think, oh, he's wearing that shirt again. I never really wore it the first time.
Here's the funny thing. Nobody cares, so that's fun.
Wow.
Well, there we go. I like mine. People were saying, where's your logo?
It's on the sleeve.
You know, there's some shirts that just don't need an in-your-face, this is who we are, because...
That's what's great about this, though.
Yeah,
it's not right in your face.
We got that one for Joe in Brock Blue.
Right.
And it is so nice. It's a really pretty Dodger blue. And I laundered it. I washed this one, too. No shrinkage. It still fits my big...
ego.
And everything is great about it. So we really love these.
And Jason told me that they're starting to ship this week.
Great. Great. So orders made, orders now shipping. So
yes.
do keep your eyes
Black
peeled for that.
Mud's still a little behind because they're literally being made for us. So
facts. Mm-hmm. I love that this is going to be like the mantra because it really is what we've always been about. And this is my favorite. I do love this, though I dribbled on it.
Did we say what we're bringing out next?
Very nice. I don't know. No, I didn't confer with you on that. So what was that?
Beer glasses.
Oh, that's right. I'm really excited to get the beer glasses.
Yeah.
There's something nice about even my kids love Shirley Temples. And so even Michael will drink Shirley Temples, loves them. And to drink it in a nice glass kind of makes you feel special. So we're going to have those. Hey, I do want to thank a couple people. Can I do that before we get rolling?
Yeah, we've got a couple minutes.
I want to thank, this is really cute.
Oh, I just got a text.
Yeah.
Saying done and done. From.
Wow, your thing is making noise. Your phone is making noise right now. So you might want to Scooby in here. I would like to thank Lisa. Lisa says, hey, kids, this goes to Brock, Jason, and me. Just a little thank you for all you do to keep us informed with the truth and with the truth. Have been a fan for a while. We'll follow you guys anywhere. Bless you guys for all you do. One of your fans, Lisa. Oh, yeah. Twizzlers.
And chocolate.
And chocolate. Thank you. We should lie and just tell everybody we like $50 bills. That's what we eat instead. We really like chewing on 50s. That was so nice, Lisa. And speaking of 50s, how cute is this? Our friend Joe from St. Mary's, Pennsylvania, sent a really wonderful note, which of course I cannot find. He is a metalsmith. And he makes these cool bottle opener things. I'm going to see if he'll make one with Wendy Bell Radio on it. We'll see if he can do that. But he also sent a note thanking us for what we do and suggesting that we reach out to AMAC, which is the conservative version of AARP, which I'm a member of, not AARP, but AMAC, and also Patriot Wireless.
They do phones.
Right. Patriot Wireless is potential national sponsors. So we'll see. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, I found Black Rifle Coffee individual things in Sam's Club this weekend. I must have.
Those people said they went woke.
Oh, no. What?
Yeah, I heard.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
did you buy them?
No, I didn't. It was expensive. Girl has needs to save money. Right?
Did she buy them for me? They were too expensive.
Mm-hmm. Well, duh.
I bought 2 shirts today.
But those of you who have sent us stuff, thank you so much. Oh, and I forgot to say, inside the note from Joe here, a $50 bill, right? He just sent a $50 bill. No parameters on it. So I'm going to take you boys to have a drink somewhere sometime. Okay? Because that's
So,
about all it's going to
people are
cover
saying-
because you guys are fiends.
People are saying that they did go woke. If you guys can tell me why they went woke,
Oh man.
what caused them to go
and
woke?
over what? We really liked Black Rifle Coffee.
It was good.
But it was just the whole story of Black Rifle Coffee. You got guys in Afghanistan, I think it was, who had lousy coffee.
Government coffee.
You know, and so they started roasting their own beans and got back to the States after they all got home safely, God willing. And they started a company and called it Black Rifle Coffee Company. And we were hook, line, and sinker loving it.
They said that they donated to the Democrat Party. Okay.
Well, that kind of does me in. Sorry. No offense against all you Democrats out there, but I just wouldn't
The
give to
open.
that party.
It's done.
I can't wait to hear it. Did he send it back?
I don't know if he sent it. I'll have to check.
We're going to have a surprise for you guys. It's going to be good. Good morning, America. Good morning to those of you listening on the radio, also live streaming on our app, the Wendy Bell Radio Network. You are tuned into the Wendy Bell Radio Show. Hello to all of you, to our radio stations in Altoona, in Winchester, Virginia, in Reading, Pennsylvania, also in Rolla, Missouri. See? We are creeping across the fruited plain, and from sea to shining sea, the facts, the data, the common sense conservatism you guys have been hungry for all weekend. Oh yes, it is Monday and we are ready to roll. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. You know, I never thought the left could do it, but the left has done it. Yes, my friends, it is official. The woke, out of touch, uberly sensitive, you hurt my feelings, left has mobilized a faction of unlikely bedfellows to join forces and to fight for our individual liberties. Did you guys see what happened yesterday? Oh, this is outstanding. In fact, I'm going to play some audio for you. I want to have Brock fire up audio sound, but I believe we've listed it as number 1. This, I believe, basically tells the story about today's program. I will explain after you listen to and watch this.
Anything! We do what we want. If we have a message to give, it's our God-given right to give that message. Not be forced to put anything in our bodies that we do not want. Stay with Kyrie!
Wow. Stand with Kyrie. It only takes one person, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes it just takes one person to bring unlikely people together. And in fact, we really aren't that unlikely. So Kyrie Irving, as we've been following, the professional basketball player, basically 86th by the NBA, came out saying, I'm not going to get vaccinated. I've had COVID. I'm not down with this mandate. Not anti-vax, my friends, anti-mandate. And yesterday, hundreds of anti-vaccine mandate protesters came out at the Barclays Center, the home of the Nets in Brooklyn, New York, in support of star player Kyrie Irving. Now, what is beautiful about this, you guys, is you have Black people, you have white people, you have Democrats, you have Republicans. You have people joining together for what we have been talking about on this program since its inception. Freedom. Freedom. Yes, there were a ton of his fans there who want him to have the ability to play. He's a star. They want the star to play. but the message is resonating. You cannot force people to do things they don't want to do in the United States of America. And if you do, this is what is going to happen. Cut number 2. Go. Now, I should tell you, things got a little heated there. They started moving the barricades, kind of like the insurrection. Much like the insurrection, though, nobody died until a Capitol police officer killed somebody. But at this particular protest yesterday, ahead of the game, these folks are saying, you know what? Not in my country, not in my city, not with my team. We want our freedom back. Thank you very much to Joe Biden and company for mobilizing like-minded people. Look, you guys, the final straw. Is it possible? Have we reached it this weekend with word about Dr. Doom? This might just be the last straw. It's one thing to have Dr. Fauci as the all-knowing, all-everything, grand hierophant of knowledge regarding COVID. The same man who's moved the goalposts how many times? Whose mandates and advice and guidance and science has changed so very many times. Well, this, my friends, might just be the final straw, because whether or not you're down with the vaccine, for whatever reason you choose or do not choose to get it, which is your right here in the United States, last time I checked. How do you feel about this breaking news headline today? Cruel Fauci condemned for spending $2 million on experiments which saw beagle puppies debarked and trapped in cages so flies could eat them alive. Much like the fury at the Barclays Center yesterday, bipartisan disgust on Capitol Hill is coming to a full boil. Already, dozens of congressmen and women joining forces, demanding to know why Dr. Fauci and the National Institutes of Health and the NIAID would spend taxpayer dollars taking beagle puppies, strapping them down, putting a contraption over their heads, and then unleashing bugs to eat them alive. Can anybody out there get behind that under the auspices of science? Seriously. I saw this headline over the weekend and I got sick. Look, science and research and experiments have used animals for years. But please tell me, anyone, when you hear what I'm about to read to you, tell me what they possibly could have been doing that is of benefit to any human being to torture puppies. A group of 24 bipartisan lawmakers now demanding answers from Dr. Anthony Fauci after a nonprofit claims he permitted experimental drug testing on dogs. This comes to us from that group called the White Coat Waste Project. And they allege today that Fauci sent $375,800 to a research lab where beagle puppies were force-fed a new drug. The report claims they were also locked in cages with sand flies that ate them alive and underwent a debarking procedure to keep them quiet. The nonprofit has also revealed 3 other experiments involving beagles that were allegedly funded by Fauci. These lawmakers have called the experiments cruel and a reprehensible misuse of taxpayer funds. They expect Fauci to answer all of their questions regarding his alleged misdeeds by November 19th. Look, I don't know how you guys feel, but I will argue, and likely successfully so, as a sad state of affairs, most Americans love dogs more than they love their neighbors. How far would you go to protect your animal, your pet, that member of your family from anything? Is it the one thing we can agree on that this is sickening? And what's intriguing about this particular article is I have yet to find out exactly why. To what end? Why was Fauci and Peter Daszak from Eco Health Alliance and any other monster working with the Bat Lady at the Wuhan Institute of Virology? Why were they dickering with viruses? Why would you do that? To see if you can make them more virulent, to see if you could, what? Create something that, if it escaped, could kill millions of people potentially? One has to ask themselves, at what point are these people reined in? When does America stand up and demand a full accounting for all of their spending? For how long? To what end? And what did you accomplish? Besides a complete waste of our money and a sickening feeling that you tortured puppies. The accompanying photographs are more disturbing. You put this on top of everything else that we've talked about. Everything that we've talked about with this administration. From the open borders to the basic ditching of Americans in Afghanistan, turning our backs on them, closing the door on their escape from the Taliban. And the lies, and now the infiltrating of our schools, the demonizing of parents, the assault of young people in school bathrooms that we're told is no big deal. Is it possible that we're beginning to see the final straw and how Americans now possibly might remember what it feels like to join back together? Doesn't matter if you're black, white, blue, or red. We are Americans. We are Americans. My husband got home from a tough week and on call. And he said to me, doesn't usually tell me anything about his patients. If Brock went to go see him, I would never know about it unless Brock told me. But Joe told me, he said, I had a patient today, very excited, who told me that because of Advanced Integrative Medical 360, they've lost 50 pounds. And I said, right on, right on. You know, being Pittsburgh's #1 hormone weight loss center is obviously a huge thing. But Advanced Integrative Medical 360 does more than that. They find answers. Answers whose keys, whose clues are found in your blood. And that is why the #1 thing you get at AIM 360 is a prescription to go get a very extensive blood workup. This is the same workup that they get at the Cleveland Clinic or the Mayo Clinic that your insurance would never cover. You get it at AIM for $199. And that very procedure starts your process of healing and hope and wellness. I'm a patient. I speak from experience. 412-227-9255. IntegrativeMedical360.com. Call them today. When we come back, some of the more disturbing allegations, some of the details, and then a call to you. I want to hear from you. And we'll bring you into the conversation right after this on the Wendy Bell Radio program.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Bring your phone in. I sent you an email.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Uh-oh, hey, whoa. Oh, I got to turn down my volume.
Wow.
There we go. All right. Hey, guys.
For the lady who says I need practice on camera, I don't plan on practicing on being on camera.
Why do you need practice?
I put my hands near my mouth.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Please.
I really don't care.
You know what? I was thinking you probably needed some fake eyelashes.
That I know I don't need. I have nicer eyelashes than you.
Men always have nicer eyelashes than women. It makes me so angry. That's interesting, though. When I was on Newsmax and they wanted to put fake eyelashes on me, I wanted to rip off my eyes. They're so miserable. I don't know why everybody has to change what they look like. Can't you just be you? Just put your hands in front
I'm having a hard enough time being me, let alone anyone else.
Put your hands in front of your face all you want. It's a better look.
Wow. That's funny.
Oh, it is funny.
I just don't. Listen, this show isn't about me. So I'm on this camera for very little. And we will have that new stuff for you at the top of the next hour.
Yeah, you guys want to stay tuned for this. So good. All right, I need to walk you through this. This is the report. It's brought to you by the White Coat Waste Project, alleging that Dr. Doom has spent more than $2 million of our money on experiments involving beagle puppies, beagle dogs. Here we go. Dr. Anthony Fauci has been condemned for using taxpayers' money to fund animal experiments, including one which saw beagles trapped in cages so flies could eat them, and another where they were debarked before being pumped with drugs and killed. One of the most disturbing incidents funded by Fauci's National Institutes of Allergies and Infectious Diseases involved $375,000 given to a research lab where puppies had their heads held in cages before being left for the sandflies to eat them alive for research purposes. Distressing snapshots showed the pups with their heads kept inside the muslin-type cages filled with the hungry insects. Another procedure, which the NIH funded to the tune of $1.8 million, saw 44 beagle puppies undergo a chordectomy, which saw their vocal cords cut to stop them from barking. That experiment which took place in Menlo Park, California, saw the dogs then pumped full of drugs before being killed and dissected. Look, I am sorry I'm starting your day with this, but you've got to know because the mainstream media is not going to tell you. A third experiment, $425. The test saw beagles howl in pain while being experimented on in Georgia. In response, a group of 24 lawmakers, led by Representative Nancy Mace, a Republican from South Carolina, are now demanding Fauci provide answers about the experiments they believe to be cruel and a reprehensible misuse of taxpayer funds. Quote, according to documents obtained via a Freedom of Information Act request by taxpayer watchdog group White Coat Waste Project and subsequent media coverage from October 2018 until February 2019, NIAID spent $1.86 million in taxpayer funds on drug tests involving 44 beagle puppies, the letter from lawmakers reads. While documents state the ostensible purpose of this study was to, quote, provide data of suitable quality and integrity to support application to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and other regulatory agencies, the FDA itself has recently stated that, quote, it does not mandate that human drugs be studied in dogs. What are you doing? There's a reason they study mice. There's a reason they study rats. There are very few people among us who think that these are animals that we want running free in our homes. You can kind of distance yourself from that. Don't want to know what you're doing. But I'm very curious if Dr. Doom is going to actually show up as he's instructed to do, as these 24 lawmakers have demanded. And even if he does show up, will he tell the truth? What do we know about Dr. Doom? What has he lied about? He's lied to us and changed his mind about masks. He's moved the goalposts about DIVOC, all of it. The gain of function stuff that he did. His lying to Congress, and now his experiments on puppies. Is this the final straw? And here's my question to you, ladies and gentlemen. One, what will it take for us to rid ourselves of this man? And two, do you believe that he will resign? Do you believe that this administration has the huevos to stand up finally and say, you know what, puppies, that might be the final straw, my man. Time to pack up and go. Will he quit? Will he be forced out? Or will he begin again to limp through yet another controversy and have this administration, have Jen Psaki and everybody else cover for him? Or is this it? 833 WBR show. 833 WBR show. We are going to open up the phone lines. I want to know, is this guy going to be able to do this forever? Is he going to be in power to rule forever? Or can we have an honest discussion that he is a clear and present danger to all of us? Call. I'm interested in listening to what you think. You're listening to the Wendy Bell radio program.
I'm going to have to send him a text.
Somebody says Black Rifle Coffee is not woke. The New York Times just did a hit piece after an interview went sideways.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. but I will dig deeper, because if the New York Times is attached to it,
Yeah,
we know it's BS. Yes, we need to.
Chances are it's fake news.
We need to absolutely send him a message. Do you want to put up the number, or do you think they'll call without it? Okay. Oh, I'm so angry about this, you guys. I can't even begin. Tell me, what benefit is there to torture dogs? To torture any animal. It's despicable.
Oh, okay.
How many
Okay,
times do
we'll
I
look
have to
into
say
it. Thanks.
despicable?
Wendy Bell Radio, your name? Nadine? Where are you from? Hold on, please.
If this isn't it, I don't know what is.
This has to bring him down.
It has to. If it doesn't, I have no faith anymore. My faith has been rattled for a while.
What's that?
And my faith has been rattled for a while.
In what?
Just everything.
Oh.
Just in
people.
In people, humanity.
Wendy Bell Radio.
You guys understand this, right? Little games you have to play as a conservative. Considering, did you guys see the piece out in the Wall Street Journal that says Facebook has been squelching conservative voices by the tune of about 20%? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Talk to her about it. The question basically is, okay, what's your name? Hold on, Laura. Hold on.
This isn't showing up.
Wendy Bell Radio. Your name? Tracy, where are you from? Hold on, Tracy.
My call screen's not up. Yeah, I can't access it. If there's a password for this, I don't know what it is, because I don't have the people's names coming up.
Is there a sticker on the top?
Am I stupid? I'd be stupid. Thanks, love.
You guys see what I deal with on a daily basis.
Hey man, I'm just
Hey, that falls in my lane. That falls
right.
in my lane.
I don't want to overstep my own boundaries here and be self-sufficient in any capacity.
I'm still super pumped about these.
Oh yeah, these are awesome. The shirts, the mic flag. Well, we're gonna play for you at the top of the next hour. So excited.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to text them when we go to get back in the programming.
So wonderful. What a talent. What a talent. Outstanding.
To be able to hear it before it's done. Like I told you.
You said it's going to be moments.
I told you exactly. I said, he's going to do this. Here's the verbiage. Here's
Yeah. That's just outstanding.
You did miss it. You'll hear it at the top of the hour.
Jason's
you baby
feeling
steps
left
in.
out.
Baby steps in. We can't give them too much at one time, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
This woman, I didn't see your name, said they've never seen me so sad. I'm not sad. I'm fired up.
Frustrated.
Yeah, I'm not sad.
Sad.
I'm a fighter, man. We're warriors. We're gonna fight as long as we have to fight. We got a big mission here. Frustrated, disappointed. I think it's worse.
Yeah. Oh, you know
When
how
my
I
mom
feel about
said
it.
she was disappointed, or my dad, I was like, oh,
I still live with that.
the worst.
It's worse than Catholic guilt.
You are tuned into the Wendy Bell radio program, and at the top of the show, we gave you this news regarding Dr. Fauci, the NIH, and the NIAID now in this White Coat Waste Project Freedom of Information whistleblower document, saying that they have spent $2 million on experiments on beagle puppies, doing some of the most disgusting things to dogs that I've ever heard of. And so my question to you is this: is it possible that this could finally be the end of Dr. Fauci? Is this the final straw? Will he resign? Will the administration force him out? Or will he continue to fail upwards and continue collecting $434,000 of our dollars to do what? Let's get out to the phones. We got Nadine in Florida. Hi, Nadine. Welcome. Let's see if we can hear you again. Try it again. Nadine, are you there?
Yes. How are you, Wendy?
I'm good. Go ahead.
Well, it's absolutely despicable, but I think that there's going to be things that are going to be brought up. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg with Fauci.
You think? Like what? Do you think more insidious stuff?
Yes, because this is just like a Michael Vick type situation. This isn't the first time he's done it. I think he's been doing it for years. I had a friend a couple years back where they did experiments with chimpanzees, and it sounds like the same hideous type things that were done.
Right. Well, do you think he's going to quit? You think is it going to end him, or what do you think is going to happen?
I think it's going to end him, but I think it's going to enrage the American people because we don't do this stuff.
Boom.
You know, we don't do this stuff. I mean, this is just like a young little kid that tortures animals when they're young.
Right, who grows up to be Jeffrey Dahmer, by the way.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I appreciate the call, Nadine. I hope you're right. Let's get out to Laura in New York. Laura, hello, and welcome to the Wendy Bell Radio Show.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear.
Okay. He's going to get away with this, just like they're getting away with everything. I don't believe it's going to change.
So the thing that my original inclination is to side with you on that. I believe based on the track record, what we've seen with this administration, and Fauci has limped his way through multiple presidencies. But I do believe the 24 congressmen and women from both parties stepping forward and saying, oh, hell no. I think this is, if enough people feel the way I feel in my stomach right now, I don't believe this is something he can escape. What do you think?
I hope not, because the man is crazy.
Yeah, I just think that he has done such irreparable damage to our country that there's no other solution. I appreciate your time to phone. Thank you so very much. Let's get out to Tracy in Scranton. Hello, Tracy.
Hi, Wendy.
Hello, dear.
Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Hi. So anyway, just listening to your program this morning, I was, oh my goodness, just that the experiment on dogs, it was just making me nauseous.
I agree. So do you believe that this is possibly he's gone too far now? Like we're learning enough that
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. If us normal people would do that to our dogs, we would be put in prison.
Well, and now they'll say, of course, this is because of science. But my question to you is, have we allowed science to have too many layers of protection and secrecy. Hasn't all of this with COVID and everything else that's come out, hasn't this proven to us that we've got some crazy Dr. Frankensteins out there who've had way too much power and way too much secrecy? It's gross.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Do you think he'll
Oh
go?
my goodness.
Do you think he'll go?
I hope he resigns. I highly doubt he'll go, but I hope they can get him out. I really do. But with Let's Go Brandon, I highly doubt he'll resign.
Well, and that's a great point because he's got an ego that is so outlandish. He couldn't possibly be brought down. He would have to do God knows what in his own mind. He's untouchable. I appreciate the call, Tracy. Out to Danielle here in Pennsylvania. Hello, Danielle. Welcome. What do you say?
Thank you for letting me know about this. I had no clue he's using puppies like this. Sorry, this is getting too much.
I agree. We feel the same way you do. Tell us what's going on.
I mean, if he can use puppies, nothing's going to stop. He was in an interview as it is, and the guy asked him, if the people wanted you to resign, would you do it? He literally said
no.
He has Biden under his wing. He has Wolf. He has every Democrat, every leftist under his wing. This is not going to stop until we're basically Germany.
I can't disagree with you.
Worse.
I can't disagree with you. But I'm hoping. I mean, as I said at the beginning, people are more kind to their pets than they are to their neighbors, care more about them. Could this be the button that has been pushed that brings people and their sanity back to the center? Could it be? I don't know. We'll see. Danielle, thank you for that. Let's get out to Marcella in Michigan. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Go ahead. What do you think?
I am just sickened by this experiment. I'm a biologist, and it just churns my stomach. And I don't think Fauci will step down voluntarily, and I'm not sure Congress has what it takes to remove him from his position, and I certainly don't think Biden will ask him to step down.
I agree with all those things, and I think that if what you just said becomes true, I think you're going to see an outcry like we've not seen before. And that's why now, as a biologist, I don't know, I highly doubt that you venture into animal experimentation, but could you even fathom with your knowledge of science what could be a possible benefit of taking beagle puppies and strapping them down and putting their heads in a contraption so they cannot move, yet they feel sand flies eating them alive? What could be the possible benefit to human beings?
I can't even imagine. I have 3 dogs myself, and I can't imagine putting them through any torture like that.
Right on. I agree. Thank you for the call. Appreciate that you're listening from Michigan, Marcella. Thank you so much. We've got Dan in Butler. Dan, go ahead. Welcome.
Hi, Wendy. Good morning.
Hi.
I think they should perform this on Fauci himself.
Right.
And see how it feels. And it's beyond belief that it's gone to this extent. But a quick sidebar, I just wanted to jump in because I read it this morning. On the West Coast, in the ports with the ships if you see the ships that say Costco, COSCO, those are Chinese ships. And China owns half of the ports on the West Coast. What does that tell you?
My man, they own everything, and this country has allowed it to happen. And if you want to branch out even farther, start looking at who owns all the farmland. That's what's going to get you. When they can control your food supply and they can control the movement of goods, they control the United States. And Joe Biden is in bed with them as we speak. I don't think there's any question. Dan, I appreciate that call. What we're asking about specifically, ladies and gentlemen, do you believe this new breaking report that's come out that shows that Dr. Fauci, under the NIH and NIAID umbrellas, was funding to the tune of $2 million barbaric research on beagle puppies, cutting out their vocal cords so they couldn't bark in pain and strapping them down and immobilizing them so that only their heads were in this netting where sand fleas ate them alive, and then injecting them with drugs, killing them and mutilating their bodies. I mean, literally, this report dropped by a Freedom of Information request by the White Coat Waste Project does not tell us what any alleged benefit said, quote unquote, research, what benefit this could possibly yield. I can't fathom. And I'm wondering, is this enough for people to wake up and say, who is this man and why are we listening to him? Let's get back out to the phones. We've got Trudy in Lancaster. Trudy, welcome and thank you for phoning.
Good morning, Wendy.
Morning.
Hey, two things come to mind. And the first one is every November in our area, we have, well, I think it's a National Day of Giving, actually. More people in this area give their money to funding animal rights.
Boom.
Than they do for any human services group.
By the way, where's PETA? Where's PETA on this?
Exactly.
Where are the protests? Or is it only selective protests that selective animals will save? If it's a liberal who's torturing them, I guess that's okay. I mean, that's disgusting to even say. But you're right about that. That's an interesting point. Do you believe that this might be the final straw or that Fauci's untouchable?
Right. I believe it could. If those people stand up, and say, how many, in the area that I live in, how many people had to give up their quote unquote puppy mills and their livelihoods because there was dog slobber on the dog food bowl? I mean, ridiculous rules and regulations when it comes to animals.
I don't disagree with you. I think you bring up a great point. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I want to get more calls in, hon, so I'm sorry we cut you off there. Let's get out to Jane in Tarentum. Hey, Jane, welcome. What do you say?
Hi, Wendy. I love your show, but I had to turn off your program today because I cannot stand to listen to things being done to people or animals. And I think, if anything, this will bring Fauci down because people do not like this. And I think they'll, really complain about it.
I agree. And you know what? It's interesting that you say, and I can hear the fury in your voice. And I understand also that the notion of turning off something that disturbs you this much. I want us all to remember the edicts in the blue states that locked our senior citizens in solitary confinement for nearly a calendar year. How many of our parents and grandparents died alone, scared, because of these tyrannical rulers who don't understand what common sense is? Common sense. There was a humane methodology that could have been employed. But no, you give people power. It's like those experiments. You remember these experiments where people were given what they believed was the ability to shock someone on another side of a wall. You push this button and you will be able to deliver a painful electric shock to somebody. You don't know, you don't see who will scream in pain. Now, what they don't know is it's all rigged. Nobody is being hurt. But the ability of people to push the button again and again and again, knowing that they were causing a stranger that kind of suffering, it speaks to this weird monster inside of us. Like, what? I'm beyond myself. More of your phone calls coming up. Dr. Charles Simkovich is going to give me some sanity here, because what he does is the antithesis of this conversation. He helps, he heals, he gives hope to people who've suffered concussion, traumatic brain injury. When you're walking around and you're not right, but you have no idea where to go, the helplessness. Oh my gosh. But there is hope, and it's the Simkovich Concussion Institute. Dr. Simkovich has worked for decades developing a revolutionary treatment that doesn't just ease your symptoms, it heals your brain. I've seen him. The success he gets with people, oftentimes in less than 1 week, you're worth it. Make the phone call. Make your appointment. See if he can help you. 412-366-3700. 412-366-3700. The Simkovich Concussion Institute.com. More of your phone calls. Dr. Fauci approving torturous experiments on beagle puppies. Is this the end of him, or will he get another pass? More of your calls coming up next on the Wendy Bell Radio program. I mean, just to hurt anybody. To hurt anybody. Like, I don't get it.
I'm sorry?
I could fundamentally disagree with everything about you. And I would never want to see you hurt, ever. Ever. What is it? Are we that depraved? Is there that evil inside everybody? Like, I don't get it. You can literally hear people's voices shaking.
Oh, I think it's disturbing. You know, I'm a big animal lover. You know.
Well, and animals love you.
And
some people have got a zhuzh, you know, and he's got that zhuzh.
How long did I spend with the deer?
Yeah.
You know, like I have no invested interest in this deer. I didn't want the deer to suffer. Here's a guy who's causing the suffering. For what reason?
Well, you know what? He better have a heck of an explanation.
It better be, I found a cure for cancer.
It better be, you know, COVID ends now because of sandflies and puppies.
Right.
And even then I'd still be like, well, I don't know, dude. I don't know if that's really connecting dots enough for me.
Well, we'll see. Because, you know, I'm sure CNN will have them on and MSNBC. I'm sure they'll have them on. Hold them to, I know they won't touch it. I mean, please.
And by the way, the omission of things says everything you need to know. And pay close attention to what Fox News is doing. They're not only drifting into the left lane, they're speeding along it. The things that have come out about Fox, and just as you pay attention to them, you know, I think the number one tip off is if you have Donna Brazile as a contributor who we know
cheated
and gave Hillary Clinton debate questions before debating Donald Trump in 2016, and you still allow her to sit on your panel with some degree of objectivity or credibility, are you out of your mind?
Jeffrey says, Jeffrey, this would be a great t-shirt. My dog hates Fauci.
Right?
I mean, I don't want to.
That would make me sick to even have that because it would. But I get it.
Don't get me wrong.
But I get it.
Yes.
I get it. I mean, there's some things we can't make fun of.
No.
I'm intrigued by how much this triggers the left after they called Trump Mussolini and Stalin and Hitler. Oh, really? And let's go, Brandon triggers you.
Here we go.
Come on.
Come on.
All right, I want to get back out to the phones. How long until Fauci actually is removed? It wasn't enough that he ruined millions of lives. That very possibly, because of his lying and his connection to the Wuhan Institute of Virology, what role did he actually play in this virus? And is he going to play the semantics game to save his butt? Is the Biden administration going to let it? But when you kill puppies, beagle puppies, does that tell you something about an individual's soul? I mean, honestly, regardless of your politics, and that we now know that he's connected to millions of dollars of U.S. taxpayer-funded research that sacrificed dozens of beagle puppies in gross experiments that did what? Back to the phones. Amy's in Virginia. Amy, welcome to the Wendy Bell Radio program.
Good morning, Wendy. Thanks for having my call.
Sure.
I hope he gets his day in court. I'm afraid, like a lot of people, I want to have faith and believe in humanity and hope that we step up to the plate and finally voice our concerns and our aggravations about things that are going on. I think we've been silent for way too long.
Agreed.
I'm just sticking by it like everyone else. I save warms after a rainy day. I don't know how someone could do this to a living thing. I question that a lot. In Virginia, we had the whole Michael Vick thing, and a lot of people forgave him, and other people kept him up on a pedestal. I still struggle with that. I do believe that it has a lot to do with the breed of animal that people want to protect, because it's happening with a lot of animals. It's happening with a lot of things. But I just think it's time that we all open our eyes and really do our own homework, really do our own investigation on who we actually elect into office.
Right on.
That's every office. And we see it down at the school boards, and it's sickening.
Right, and you're in the hot seat in Virginia. You've got a heated governor's race there, and you've got an actual, I mean, I can't even imagine that Terry McAuliffe thinks he could be governor again. I mean, the man is just out of his mind, and they had to bring out Obama because they're so nervous. They damn well should be. The guy's a mess. He's bad for your state, for your Commonwealth. Let's get out to the phones. Kathy's in Pittsburgh. Kathy, hello and welcome. Kathy, you there?
Hey, Wendy, thanks. Hi, Wendy. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it.
Hey, this is absolutely horrendous what Fauci and the Democrats are doing. Do I think something's going to happen to any of them? I have my doubts. Let's look back a few years and see, did anything ever happen to Hillary Clinton, the Democrats, Planned Parenthood, when they were basically caught selling baby parts? It's
you know what, and you bring up a great, you know what, and Kathy, since you're in Pittsburgh, I have been quiet about what's been going on at the University of Pittsburgh with fetuses and experiments there. I mean, I can't even wrap my mind around it. I can't even go there to talk to you guys about it. It disturbs me so much. It is disgraceful. So yes, I understand what you're saying, and you're right, 100% correct. Thank you for the call, Kath. Appreciate it. Gil's in Kentucky. Gil, I want to get you in here before the break. What do you think?
I think Fauci needs to be locked up. But they are violating the Constitution of America. And then, like, animal cruelty. They passed a law against animal cruelty, but they're doing it. Nobody's above the Constitution. Nobody's above the law. The Biden administration needs to be locked up. Fauci needs to be locked up. His words, he backpedals on them. This COVID BS needs to go away. America needs to be back as America.
I agree. And I think you summed it up beautifully. Look, here's my point. If you follow my stream of consciousness here, starting with the protests outside the Barclays Center, where people from all different backgrounds, whether they voted for Biden or voted for Trump, no matter what, coming together for one thing, and that it's all about individual liberty. You have a basketball player who said, not my body, I'm not going to do it. And people support that. Do they support him? Sure. But it's the overarching thing. Dr. Fauci, trampling on our individual liberties, being the mouthpiece of these mandates with his ever-changing edicts. It's no wonder Americans have no faith in leadership, because the leadership itself is corrupt. It is flawed. It is dishonest. And when you start killing puppies, beagle puppies, under some guise of science, for a hell of a lot of us, you're irredeemable. You're listening to the Wendy Bell Radio program. Back right after this. I agree. How about this, you guys? For you in the stream, and I'm sorry to do this to you.
What?
I'm telling people on the stream because there's more details here that I didn't get to. I want you to hear this. The sandflies would gnaw on the dog's ears, eating them alive. The pictures are a disgrace.
Yeah.
It is an absolute disgrace. 2 weeks ago, let's see, Fauci's team had previously in 2016 strapped the infectious sandflies to beagles at the NIAID lab in Bethesda, Maryland, allowing them to feed on the dogs for 22 months. This isn't a quick shot to the head. This is 22 months of suffering. And we can't hear you bark and scream because we're going to take out your vocal cords because we don't want to hear it.
Right. We don't want, if we had any
it's disturbing. I don't want to hear it.
Right. If we had any kind of heart.
The White Coat Waste Project alleges the dogs developed infectious lesions.
Of course.
Before the researchers killed and dissected them. Well, what are you going to dissect them to find out? Well, yeah, they're dead. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to put that aside and march into a different. I need to find the light now.
Well, she might have told. Did you talk about our bet?
No, I didn't. So, and that's what sparked the idea of opening up the phone lines. Because I watched Jason and Brock behind the glass here make a wager basically regarding, and look, this is not to minimize the disgust we all feel over why we're bringing this up. Okay. But this is to say, is this something that ultimately, will he resign? Will he be forced out? And Jason, you said.
Well, I said 1 week, and Brock gave me till 11:59 p.m. on Friday. So
you gave him until the end of our show on Friday.
No, end of the day on Friday.
11:59 p.m.
Sorry,
excuse me.
PM. I need those 12 hours.
No, you did say PM. I think
you can have those 12 hours. He's not resigning. He's the arrogant, untouchable.
That's the sanctimony.
Yeah,
I know
they
better
call
than
him
you.
Teflon Don.
Don't you dare talk to me or question me. If you pay close attention to these people, Jen Psaki has the same sanctimony, the same.
The JA.
And by the way, that is where we're going to be marching next.
Well, Wendy, you made a really good point about not to minimize it. And the sheer disgusting factor is that it took animals to get up in the America and uproar about this man and all the.
It wasn't enough that we put the masks on the kids, right? My kids still wear masks all day at school, all of them. Right? I don't know what Jack and Mike do in college, but I know they have to get in and out of places and whatever. I mean, yeah, of course, we've got lots of groups standing up and protesting, but is there a singular issue which will actually unite all of these factions of people who
Puppies
are like, what? Is that the puppy? Yeah. It's the I mean, literally, it's babies and it's puppies.
Well, it's babies, elderly and puppies because it's that age-old you protect who can't protect themselves.
Yes, and that's not a political statement. That's called a humane statement.
Absolutely.
This administration talks to us about humanity. What was going on at the border was so inhumane. It's such BS. It's such BS.
It's also being raised, not now. It's also called, to me, that's part of being a man. You protect. Now that's called toxic masculinity.
I thought of you over the weekend. Excuse me for interrupting you. There was a meme, and it's a man and a woman walking down a sidewalk, and cars are on the right-hand side, and it said, only a gentleman would understand what's wrong with this picture.
She was walking by
She was the one that was closest to the street, right?
Well, that's because I've told you.
Well, I mean, that's what Joe does. He always scoots and takes that lane, and just it's a non-thinking instinct that I'll take the hit, not you.
Right.
But I don't think anything's going to happen. But if it does, I'll be the one who
bounce back,
not you, or not. Right. But I'm going to roll the dice on me.
That's a stupid man's mentality. Like you think you're.
But you're sexist. You sexist pig.
That's toxic masculinity.
Right. You're all about you and being whatever. That's your
newsflash.
That's your privilege.
Newsflash. if I tell you you look nice, it means nothing more than just you look nice.
You've never said that.
Well,
No. Just saying.
well,
I'm just saying.
there
I've
you go.
never heard those words uttered from his lips ever. So don't think he's ever going to tell you that you look nice either. Hopefully he tells his wife.
He's told me I look nice.
I have not.
Well, then
I told you to stop wearing
that might be another
V-necks
conversation.
all the time. Is what I've told you.
He likes the the tat right there.
Invest in like a crew neck, for God's
I don't like
sakes.
the feeling around my neck. I just don't.
He feels like he's shackled, kind of like he's in this administration. What?
Well, that's a stretch.
No, it's not.
I
Yeah,
know.
see? See?
So in literally
1 minute. Can you play it
1
so I
minute.
can hear the whole thing instead of putting my
Yes.
microphone down? I won't talk.
behind the scenes, you realize I wait to push you up for a reason. One, so they don't have dead silence and they can hear the music, and so can you. We have to wait because there's an amount of time because stations will have stuff coming out of it.
Thank you. I did not know that. Appreciate it.
Big shout out to KP. He knows.
Thanks. This is legit.
I'll call you after this show.
Maybe we both will.
Using facts to take on the woke politicians, triggered leftists, and the corporate media.
You just got to try harder not to suck.
Live across the fruited plain and from sea to shining sea. You're listening to the Wendy Bell Program.
Welcome back, America. Our new open. I hope you like it. I think it sounds awesome. Thank you so much to KP for doing that for us. Okay, I want to switch gears a little bit here and transition, but all of this today is going to come together. The title of today's program is The Enemy of My Enemy. Now, I don't really look at people as enemies, but I've started to. If you really want to tread on me, if you really want to take my guns, if you really want to take my liberty and my freedom, you are officially my enemy, and it is game on. Now, I'm not going to threaten you with some kind of violence. This is not what I'm saying. But figuratively speaking, you are the enemy of what freedom and justice for all is all about. And you are a danger. Period. That is not controversial to say, by the way. But the enemy of my enemy being my friend is a very unique concept. And we're seeing more people kind of bump into each other because this administration is pushing the buttons of so many people who otherwise were down with the message. Think of how this administration is alienating African Americans. We see it in the ratings, the poll numbers, I should say, that come out week after week. It's this steady erosion of support in us. And I would say its biggest voting bloc, African Americans. Very interesting to watch. More African Americans, I believe the numbers have recently shown, than whites are hesitant with this vaccine. And one could argue many, many reasons why that go back in history. How African Americans have been treated in this country. Their own medical experiments. Think the Tuskegee experiments. Think of a number of different things that the Black community has every reason to distrust not just medicine, but government. How many times have they been lied to? How many times as a block of people have they been used and misused and abused so that a particular party, the left, could accomplish something? Well, what did we see yesterday outside the Barclays Center? Whether it's a love of basketball, whether it's an appreciation of a tremendous athlete in Kyrie Irving, or maybe it's just the whole notion that I don't like you to tell me what I ought to do, any more than the NBA and its wokeness should force any of its players to behave a certain way in order to play the game they were obviously built by God to play. You're seeing the pushback. I heard something over the weekend that stopped me in my tracks. And I think more and more, the sources where common sense conservatives, such as myself, such as the preponderance of you who pay attention to this program, where we can get actual fact-based news that we then as individual consumers of information can go and double check and edify for ourselves, that source of information is becoming very small. Fox News is off the leftist cliff. They lost me on November 3rd. They lost me when Brett Baer called Arizona with something like 6% of the vote in. I was done. As the months would continue on, the drip, drip, drip of people I'd otherwise liked, Sandra Smith, Bill Hemmer, now Neil Cavuto. I will talk about him in just a moment. But Chris Wallace, he's a leftist in Republican clothing, right? He looks like, sounds like he should be conservative. He's on Fox News. One would think that for God's sake, you should be able to turn on a network and get fair commentary from the people who host a program. Well, he's off the cliff. I want you to hear this soundbite because this is exactly what we're going to be talking about in this segment. This is exactly what you're going to be hearing us talk about. And I'm going to dismantle this bit by bit by bit. Important. Audio bite number 5. Go.
And since I was working in the press corps when Sam Donaldson is there, that's a very grudging compliment on my part. And Jen Psaki, I think, is one of the best press secretaries ever.
Wow. That's rich. Jen Psaki is one of the best press secretaries ever. One, before we walk into that, know that Chris Wallace can never be trusted. Okay? Fox News is dead to me. It doesn't have to be to you, but I will never pay attention to them. I stopped, like I said, months ago. But this is it. This is the final nail in the coffin. If you want to say to me that Jen Psaki is one of the best press secretaries ever, when we have proof that she is nothing more than a sanctimonious liar who runs cover for a feeble old man who has no idea, by and large, where the heck he is, and covers for Dr. Doom and this administration's failed policies that, oh, wait a minute, suck. Okay? Please, Chris, you're such a clown. So let's go with audio soundbite number 6. I have found 3 excellent examples to refute Chris Wallace saying that Jen Psaki is one of the best press secretaries ever. As she circles back and nervously leafs through her binder to then read prefab statements that have been written for her to refute what usually are Peter Doocy's questions. Audio soundbite number 6. I think this is really telling. This says an awful lot. Go.
And Jen Psaki, I think, is one of the best press secretaries ever.
First of all, I think it's irresponsible to say Americans are stranded. They are not. We are committed to bringing Americans who want to come home. We are in touch with them via phone, via text, via email, via any way that we can possibly reach Americans to get them home if they want to return home.
There are no Americans stranded is the White House's official position on what's happening in Afghanistan right now.
I'm just calling you out for saying that we are stranding Americans in Afghanistan when we have been very clear that we are not leaving Americans who want to return home. We are going to bring them home. And I think that's important for the American public to hear and understand.
Listen carefully. She said, the administration, she's saying, I told you they're not stranded. How dare you question me? And another fun leftist tactic, I'm just pointing it out. I'm calling you out for what you're doing. Deflection is beautiful. However, she's a liar. Report, State Department says 363 Americans are still trapped in Afghanistan. Wait a minute. What? Didn't our illustrious Secretary of State not just, 2 months ago, when the debacle of the withdrawal from Afghanistan that cost 13 Americans their lives and others afterwards, didn't he say it's about 100? We got about 100. Well, no, you don't. You got 363. At least 363 Americans are still trapped in Afghanistan, far above the administration's initial estimate, weeks after the Biden administration's botched withdrawal from the jihadist-controlled country, according to the State Department itself. The State Department reportedly relayed the information to congressional staff Thursday, admitting it is in contact with 363 Americans stranded in Afghanistan. Of those, 176 reportedly want to come home. The number is far greater than the estimate offered by Secretary of State Blinken last month, insisting that roughly 100 Americans were left in the country. Quote, we believe the number of those who have American citizenship, many of them dual nationals, who remain in Afghanistan is somewhere around 100, he told reporters in Qatar in September, claiming the department to be in, quote, direct contact with virtually all of them. Psaki is a bold-faced liar. And so is Chris Wallace. Representative Darrell Issa has continually doubted the figure the Biden administration has offered and remains a key figure in helping trapped Americans escape, bringing attention to their plight. In early September, he estimated the true number trapped as closer to 500. Do me a favor, everybody. Why does it take Representative Issa and other organizations to bring these Americans home? What are Joe Biden? What's Anthony Blinken? What's Jen Psaki doing about it besides lying to you and the media squelching the story of the truth? There are Americans in Afghanistan who are in danger today that this administration knows about, the State Department has admitted knowing about in numbers far greater than they've told us about, and they've done nothing. One of the trapped Americans wrote this: shame on this White House for its betrayal of our fellow citizens. They say they've tried to get out. And I'm going to read part of the letter from an American there who's getting radio silence from Joe Biden and company. And Jen Psaki running cover, lying, not just to Peter Doocy, but to you. But according to Chris Wallace, she's one of the best. I guess this is where we lower our expectations. That's what the best means now. Wouldn't you love your health insurance, your medical insurance to actually cover you when you need it? I mean, you're paying out the nose for it anyway. It would be a wonderful thing if it actually was there to cover you when you, I don't know, got hurt or were diagnosed with something and needed to stay in the hospital. But oftentimes you pay more than your insurance coverage does. Welcome to deductiblebuster.com. This is no gimmick. It's an actual thing, and it works. for so many Americans. If you have individual or group health insurance, go to deductiblebuster.com. Look at the videos, simple explainer videos, to tell you if this product can work for you. My friend Tom Yakupin, he's a friend of this show. He's connected to this. It's his. I trust him. You can too. Go to deductiblebuster.com today. All right, when we come back, that's just one story, one lie of Jen Psaki's that we can explore. There are two more, and I've got sound proving both of them on deck for you on the Wendy Bell Radio program. Thank you. All right,
You tell me if you want it changed.
This is a great opportunity for me to talk to you about my friends, the Irelands. Gary and Diana Ireland from Ireland Contracting. They've been in business for 30 years. They put on new roofs, new roofing, new siding, new windows, soffit fascia, skylights. If it's on the exterior of your house, they are experts. And if you live in southwestern Pennsylvania, this is the contracting company I trust. Ireland Contracting, A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Angie's List, Guild Quality, and of course the Wendy Bell Radio program. They're wonderful people. They give you a good price, an honest price, and they give you excellent craftsmanship. At the end of the day, what more could you possibly want? 1-800-NEW-ROOF. Call them today or go to IrelandContracting.com. And thank you to Gary and Diane for sponsoring this program. We appreciate you. This makes me so angry. So much makes me angry. I need to not be angry. This frustrates me. How about that?
Okay.
So every soundbite's going to start with Chris Wallace, by the way.
Yeah.
So
you know. You transitioned from Neil Cavuto to Chris Wallace, and I didn't make that jump with you.
Yes.
So that's why I was like, whoa, because we talked about the Cavuto.
Right.
And I'm like, I didn't pull that. So I went into a little panic.
No, I get it. That's my fault. It's a beautiful day. Did you end up golfing or no?
No. Wendy said no. So.
So I want to read this letter, a little bit of this letter. So Darrell Issa released a letter on Thursday addressed to President Biden. It was written by an American who's still trapped in Afghanistan alongside his wife. And in this letter, he details the seeming carelessness and incompetency of the State Department. Think about that. The carelessness and incompetency of the State Department. Noting they missed 3 of their flights. He and his wife missed 3 of their flights out of Afghanistan to come back to the United States, 2 of which they were seemingly not alerted about. Are you kidding me? Jen Psaki, we're in touch with them. Really, apparently not well enough, Jen. Quote, I'm pleading with you again as a fellow proud American and as a husband to help my wife and I get home from Afghanistan, he wrote in the letter. For months, Issa says he's been working tirelessly to bring Americans home. Well, thank God it takes a congressman to do that, what your president cannot do. Wow. Good job, Jen. But there's more. How about this lie as Chris Wallace, and you're going to hear him again with his claim. How about the attacks on Ron DeSantis? The merciless attacks on Ron DeSantis for his handling of COVID in his state of Florida. Listen to Chris Wallace, his claim about Jen Psaki, and then her lie to you. And then we'll dismantle that. Go.
And Jen Psaki, I think, is one of the best press secretaries ever.
I will note, as you touched on there, 20% of the cases we're seeing are in Florida. There are steps and precautions that can be taken, including encouraging people to get vaccinated, encouraging people to wear masks, including allowing schools to mandate masks and allowing kids to wear masks, which is not the current state of play in Florida.
Factually incorrect, Jen. I'll be gentle with you. You're factually incorrect. This is why you can tell they are scared to death of potential presidential candidate Ron DeSantis. From the very beginning in Florida, he said, this virus is real. The vaccine is effective. We're going to make elderly people and those who are sick a priority. And he didn't take that photo op that everybody else did of him getting his vaccine. He says, I'm young. I'm healthy. Use my jab for someone else. Subsequently got vaccinated. He has never said, don't get it. And when it comes to masks, Jen, and you know better, he said there should be no mandates. He's against mandating anything. He said anybody who wants to send their child to school wearing a mask has the freedom and the right to do so. You choose. We don't demand. Isn't that a refreshing thought process, Jen? He's choosing to make this political, she said. No, he's not. Ron DeSantis has specifically not made this political. And what is the state right now with the second lowest daily COVID rate, 7-day average? What would that be again, Jen? Oh, that would be Florida, which has been open for business for months, minus restrictions, minus mandates, minus freedom trampling edicts. In the state of Florida, there's this really remarkable thing that goes on. You do you. If you are uncomfortable going somewhere, don't go. If you feel more comfortable with being vaccinated, get the vaccine. We're going to make it easy for you. We're going to put clinics up wherever we can. If you feel better sending your child to school wearing a mask, by all means, you are completely able to do that. No one will be ridiculed. No one will be mocked. You do what is right for you and your family. Meanwhile, in the land before time, where cases are up, meanwhile, in Vermont, the highest vaccinated state in the country, where the infection rate is out of control, where people have to wear masks, where mandates are mandatory. How do you like that? Which is working, Jen? See, the better things go in places like Texas and Florida and South Dakota, North Dakota, the worse things look for Biden. The more Jen Psaki has to run her mouth and lie. And the more people like hacks in the media, like Chris Wallace, wrapped in the Fox News conservative brand, have to lie and cover. We're just getting started. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Wendy Bell Radio program.
always want. Yeah, DeSantis has been stellar. But you and I had this conversation this morning.
What's that?
About they go after DeSantis, he's anti-vax. Just because I didn't get the shot or trust the shot, it's this shot. It's not the vaccine. I'm fully vaccinated other than this shot. You do you. Okay. Right. The reason I said I don't think. Sorry, guys.
Don't you guys love these backdoor discussions?
They didn't hear that.
No, I know.
Oh.
I know. Don't you want total access? A free access? Full access pass? Maybe not.
Well, sometimes things are between. That have to do with the show are between. Can't be discussed.
Correcto mundo. All right, so we have disc and then. Okay.
No.
What? At 48. It's my next one.
Oh, yeah. But we have one coming out of there too, Battlegrounds.
Correct. I just was putting them in order. You know,
dead air, Brock.
You had sent me the message regarding the puppies yesterday, and I had to go outside and do yard work. I was really upset. You ever do that where you have to go somewhere and like Fooster and do something? I had to go out and rake, and it's easier to blow everything around, and I needed to rake. I needed that to get the energy out.
I put together one of those things, heating things.
Did you? Well, your little backyard is shaping up to be slick.
Yeah, I need to go
nice
get
furniture.
I need to get one of those awnings that is offset.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to because it's gonna be like it's crazy. The awning.
This is a good time to do it though because
right,
you're gonna
it's
have
cheaper.
sales for that.
I found the awning. The awning is like $140, which I'm okay with.
It's the stand, isn't it?
But then the things to hold it down is like $90. I'm like,
yeah.
The things I'm never gonna see.
I have about 40 feet of garland that I want to get, like nice garland with nice white lights, like small white lights.
To go in her clean breezeway.
To go down my railing. Oh my God. Like, forget about it. I need to search in July. And
Yes.
it's hard to find in July. But now I want it, and I'm just not going to be decorating for Christmas. These are right? Aren't you so? Do you feel so sorry?
Are you having
for
a
us?
Christmas party?
Christmas party? I've never had a Christmas
company
party.
Christmas party.
Oh, if you want. If my basement's done. If the basement's done.
Well, she can't. So it's a company Christmas party
My,
in your house?
my
She's
man,
not even going to take us.
my man. When the guy who came for the shower door and told me it was going to be a month or more just to get the hinge. Because I can't get a hinge.
I'm saying.
Not like you're there to take a shower.
The company Christmas party at your house?
What?
Yeah,
what?
Yankees party or something.
Oh, you want to have that? Okay.
Yeah, well, come on.
Wow.
Come on, man. I want a legit Christmas party.
Who are we inviting?
I don't want no ghetto Christmas party.
Should you invite people to come with us?
We could.
At Stinky's? Thank you so much for tuning back into the Wendy Bell radio program. Common sense conservatism. It's what we do day after day. If you like the sound of this, make sure to download the Wendy Bell Radio Network app. It's free, both app stores. Check us out. We've got lots going on there. Before I get into debunking Jen Psaki and Chris Wallace from Fox News, calling her one of the best press secretaries ever, I was intrigued by this. This is like the last straw for me for Fox News. There have been many. The death by 1,000 cuts, they've been bleeding out for a while, but I think the bag is dry now. Did you guys see over the weekend, Neil Cavuto, who, unbeknownst to me, apparently has multiple sclerosis, and like many people out there, are vaccinated and do so for good reason. They've been told this is good for you. This is, if you get vaccinated, your likelihood of having severe illness should you get COVID, because we know that the vaccine does not prevent you from getting it. But that many people say if you get it, your likelihood of needing hospitalization or dying from it are greatly reduced. That's great. I think that's wonderful. You still do you, and I'll do me. How about that? Well, very interesting over the weekend. And whenever CNN and Brian Stelter hail you, you've got something wrong. You've done something wrong. Okay? There is no circumstance that I want Brian Stelter or CNN applauding me and getting on my ship. Okay? We are diametrically opposed. Fundamentally, completely opposite, which is fine. They have their lane. I have mine. So Neil Cavuto implores viewers to get vaccinated after breakthrough COVID-19 case. Guy is vaccinated. I'm going to read you the story because even he doesn't get it. Do you understand? It's not about the vaccine. Why don't you understand? And why do you care so much about what everybody else is doing? And when did it become everybody else's responsibility to keep you, quote unquote, safe? It's no more my responsibility to do something that you think is going to keep you safe so you have peace of mind than it is for me to pay for your abortion. You do you. I don't care what you do. Fox News host Neil Cavuto, in his first televised interview since announcing he's tested positive for COVID-19, urged all Americans to receive a coronavirus vaccination in order to keep themselves and others safe. I listened to the sound. I'm going to spare you from it. Okay? Because he starts by saying, it's not about me. No, it is all about him. What is it about COVID, DIVOC as I call it? What is it about this virus that has made people so ridiculously selfish? Do you really believe that somebody walking by you on the street, by you, has the ability to infect you, how close do you get to people? Do you talk really closely to people? Do you talk really closely to strangers? Do you talk to them for extended periods of time? When was the last time, really, you spoke intimately closely with somebody at all? I don't even talk that closely to my family. This is what he said. For God's sake, think of the bigger picture here. Get outside yourself and think about those you work with, those around you. Think about keeping them safe, Cavuto said during an appearance on Fox News' Media Buzz. I want you to think about that statement. For God's sake. Hey, Neil, fear is a choice. Look, and I know that you've got your own medical issues. They're not my medical issues. I choose to make my own decision here. From the research that I've done on this vaccine, I'm going to do okay if I get Divock. I think I've already had it, but I think I'm going to do okay. I'm not getting anywhere near you. I'm not getting anywhere near anyone else for that matter. Stop trying to demonize anybody who doesn't feel the same way you do. And stop making this some sort of a, if you care about people, you'll do the right thing. Buzz off. Back off. These breakthrough cases, he continues, are overwhelmingly happening among immunocompromised individuals like myself. So let me get this straight. I'm supposed to go out and I'm going to get this vaccine, which we know a lot of people have had problems with. We're told to go get this vaccine, which we know a lot of people have died from, according to the CDC. Their own numbers. I'm not making this up. It's available on their website, cdc.gov/VAERS. But I'm supposed to go out, roll the dice, become part of a phase 3 clinical trial, even though I'm excruciatingly healthy. So you feel safer. But wait a minute, that's not good enough. Even if I get vaccinated, I can still get COVID and I can still pass it to you. So exactly what are you telling me to do? Join a club? Be part of the in crowd? Do the right thing? Does any of this add up to you, Neil? For God's sake, as you implore the rest of us? Quote, well, this is what he says. Cavuto, who's been open about his health struggles with multiple sclerosis, okay, is fully vaccinated and announced on Tuesday he and his wife had both tested positive for the virus. I hope they do well. Okay. Quote, while I'm somewhat stunned by this news, you shouldn't be. Are you paying attention, Neil? The vaccine isn't the magic bullet. The vaccine's efficacy wanes over time and rapidly, so make sure you get your COVID booster and then the booster after the booster. Don't ever stop, because a virus doesn't ever get eradicated. While I'm somewhat stunned by this news, doctors tell me I'm lucky as well, Cavuto said in a statement shared with The Hill at the time of his diagnosis. Had I not been vaccinated and with all my medical issues, this would be a far more dire situation. It's not, because I did, and I'm surviving this because I did. You don't know that. I hope it's true. I hope you do well. I don't want anybody to suffer. But who in the heck are you? He goes on, this is not about left or right. This is not about conservative or liberal. Last time I checked, everyone, regardless of their political persuasion, is coming down with this. Being Hailed a Hero by Brian Stelter. Okay? Hey, Neil, do you get it? It's not about the vaccine. It's not your right to tell us what we should do with our bodies. Allow me to make my decisions as I allow you to make yours. But if you want to feel nervous about people, if you want to live in fear, because that's been the point of this whole damn thing, the only way to get people to roll up their sleeves and get the stupid shot is to scare the ever-loving liver out of them. This just in, 75 more people have tested positive. This just in, the ticker showing how many people have died. They're dropping like flies. This just in, the media reporting, oh, if only he had done the right thing. When all along the real message is, we know what's right, do what we say, or lose everything. I've lost patience with you, says President Biden. My patience is wearing thin. We know that mandates work. Listen to all these people who know you, who know what's best for you. You know what I have never, ever said? Don't get it. Ever. I have never said, don't get this vaccine. Similarly, though, what I have said is you choose. You. It's amazing, these people with the signs. Kindness over hate. Love works. Are the most venomous, mean-spirited, exclusive, discriminatory, segregation-loving crowd around, wrapped in that bubble of do-goodery, sanctimonious do-goodery, and the idiocy that comes out of it, which wraps up the trifecta of my favorite saying. I have no idea that they're exactly the people that they're warning us not to be. All that you're arguing, we can refute. The bottom line is we're just not a people who are told what to do or how to live. A lot of us don't like being told the decisions we should make, especially by people who don't have integrity, especially by people who have lied, especially by people who fudged the numbers, especially by people we don't trust. Hence, why there's still such high non-vaccination numbers among certain communities. You've lied to them so many times before. Why should they believe you now? Neil, I hope you 100% recover. I hope you heal. I wish you longevity and joy, but stay in your lane. That's the overarching message. I went long in this segment, you guys, and I apologize, but sometimes, I just gotta say it. Dr. Richard Rafferty from the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh has this model, this thing on his desk. I was like, what on earth is that? It looks awful. And he held it up. It's the model of a segment of the spine that shows what bulging, herniated, and degenerative discs look like. It's awful. No wonder people are hobbled and in so much pain. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's what it looks like inside? He said, yeah. I said, well, what do you do? He said, well, if their degeneration, if you will, isn't so far advanced, we can heal that. I'm like, wait, you can heal that? And he said, yeah, we can. Non-surgically, with therapy, with treatment. It's called intradisc neutrosis. I asked him, I said, well, does it work? He said, yeah, it's 98% successful. Why do you think people fly in and drive in from all over the country to see us here at the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh? Because it works. And because we can sit down and tell them by looking at their scans if they're a candidate before they spend one penny with us. And I'm like, so wait a minute, you give people hope and help. And he's like, bingo, that's what we do. That is the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh. No matter where you live, if this sounds true to you, if this resonates with the pain in your back, call today. 412-906-9600. PittsburghDiscInstitute.com. Ask for Dr. Rafferty. Tell him the Wendy Bell Radio Show sent you. He loves us. We love him. All right, when we come back, I'm going to get thhrou the final Jen Psaki lie, and Chris Wallace, as the hack that he is, saying she's one of the best press secretaries ever. Really? Oh, just wait, because I've got 2 great audio clips that you'll want to stick for. This is the Wendy Bell Radio program. Sorry. You see me like contorting here. There's a hair in my shirt. It's tickling my skin. It's driving me nutty.
When I put the music on, because we have to talk about something, for the guy on the stream saying we should talk about before and after the show. First off, we didn't have the info we were talking about before the show.
Whatever.
Second,
stay in your
I
lane.
want to set the record straight.
There is no record to set straight.
There are certain things. We weren't talking about anything controversial, but there are certain things you guys can't hear. If you think you're going to hear more somewhere else, good luck.
He told me I looked really good today.
I can independently confirm that was not said. That was absolutely.
It's so hurtful. You know, if I could do the show walking, we would get so many steps. I'm just saying. I've only had 3,532 steps today. This is just bad. Time to go into the woods with Murphy.
Why don't you walk out and get me something to drink?
Do you need something to drink?
But
okay. I was ready.
I'm going to go walk through Costco later and get my steps.
Do you guys like our shirts? I think we should talk about how triggered the left is by this. It just cracks me up. What was it? Who was it who just came out and fessed up that the people who were chanting weren't saying, "Let's go, Brandon"? They were saying.
Was it the Post or the Times?
I think it was the New York Post. It was WAPO. Washington Post came out and said that. Yeah, we lied to you.
Yeah.
What? Really?
Wait a second. The fact that they thought we didn't know.
I know, right?
I mean,
Makes
everyone's
you so
made
dumb.
T-shirts.
Yes.
It's all over.
Ryan said that. He's like, "Were you the first people who made?" And I was like, "I'm like, heck no, no, but we just made it better than everybody else." Mm-hmm.
Well.
Mm-hmm.
Look at her taking credit for it, Jason. Look at her taking.
I have absolutely nothing to do with it.
Okay, hey, here we go. I need you here.
I love talking about my friends who own the Battlegrounds here in Munhall, Pennsylvania. It's about the coolest place to ever get together and shoot someone. It sounds edgy, and it is edgy. It's the area's largest indoor airsoft Nerf gun arena. It is 3 stories of absolutely mind-blowing. What? I'm talking Nerf, airsoft, bow tag, rivals, slingshots, and so much more. You can book a party there. Your kids will have a blast. It's safe, all the safety equipment. They provide all the gear, referees. Your party is 2.5 hours long. Oh my, you'll leave exhausted, exhilarated. Oh my golly, you're going to love it. The battlegroundspa.com is the website. Here's the number to call, 412-530-2192, 412-530-2192. Tell Matt and Lauren Wendy Bell Radio sent you. Yes. All right, so I'm like Jen Psaki, I'm going to circle back. Okay, we're going to circle back because I think I need to tie this one up for you guys. Not like you don't know Chris Wallace making the most ridiculous statement ever. My goodness. Saying that she's one of the best press secretaries ever. Okay. She's not. She's a liar, a sanctimonious liar at that. And we all know it. We're all onto it. I want you guys to hear this sound. This is about, Dr. Doom, cut number 8. It's going to preface with the allegation by Chris Wallace, and it's going to finish with her lying. Go.
And Jen Psaki, I think, is one of the best press secretaries ever.
First on COVID origins, you said from that podium that under no circumstance would President Biden ever fire Dr. Fauci. Is that still the case since Fauci told Congress the NIH never funded gain-of-function research for coronaviruses in Wuhan, but documents published by The Intercept suggest that is not true, which would mean that he misled Congress?
Well, first, I would say that NIH has refuted that reporting, and I would point you to that. But let me give you some highlights of that. NIH has never approved any research that would make a coronavirus more dangerous to humans. I'm reminded that there are previous and different coronaviruses than the existing one we're battling. And the body of science produced by this research demonstrates that the bat coronavirus sequences published from that work, NIH supported, were not COVID, the strain, COVID-2 strain. So what he said was correct.
So his job is safe.
Correct.
So his job is safe. Correct. She can't even read the pre-prepared statement, COVID-2. What? So this is the argument they're making, the semantics argument. Well, that wasn't the strain that they were tinkering with the bat lady. It was something that was completely similar, but not that particular strain. So that's where they're going to hang their hat. No, we didn't lie. No. That's not what we were doing. Bull. And we know it's bull. We reported it last week. Of course, the NIH themselves admitted this is the umbrella organization of Fauci's NIAID. Well, yeah, we did, and he knew. Well, no, duh. I mean, like literally, when they come clean after we've talked about it for 4 or 5 months, isn't it almost stupid? It's like, do you really think that this is some breaking admission? We've known. You're so transparent in your deceit and corruption. You don't even try anymore. I want you to hear Chris Wallace, again from Fox News. He says Jen Psaki's just the best, one of the best, and he should know. Well, let's listen in on him absolutely excoriating Kayleigh McEnany. Listen to what McEnany says several years ago during a press conference under the Trump administration. Ask yourself, did she say anything wrong? And then scratch your head on Wallace's response. Cut 9.
Turn to something else now, and that's the new White House press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany. She held a briefing on Friday, and this is right after President Trump said he would override governors if they didn't open houses of worship right away. A number of reporters asked on what basis, under what authority, the president could override governors and make them open houses of worship, and that led to this exchange. Take a look.
What specific provision of federal law allows the president to override a governor?
The president will strongly encourage every governor to allow their churches to reopen. And boy, it's interesting to be in a room that desperately wants to seem to see these churches and houses of worship stay closed.
The president said that he has that.
Really, I object to that. I mean, I go to church. I'm dying to go back to church.
Donna, I spent 6 years in the White House briefing room covering Ronald Reagan. I have to say, I never, and in the years since, too, I never saw a White House press secretary act like that.
Did any of you take any offense to what Kayleigh McEnany said in that particular clip? President Trump will strongly encourage governors to keep their houses of worship open. Oh my goodness. That I have never, ever heard anybody say anything quite like that. Really? And then you have Donna Brazil, the biggest hack ever, lying, cheating woman that she is, as a panelist, shows you that Chris Wallace is nothing more than a partisan hack.
And she did, in his eyes, what CNN hates. She questioned the media when she says, I can't believe I'm in a room where all you people scream about freedom of the press.
How dare you question us? That's the sanctimony you hear me refer of all the time. How many leftists in red clothing, right? Do you know who pull that strategy? How dare you? Don't you question me? Well, then you say, well, actually, I have the facts and the figures and, those pesky things called truth to back up what I'm saying. So you want to play? And then what they'll do invariably is one of two things. Walk away calling you a name or dropping the racist card. That's all there is. Conversation over. All right, when we come back, we've got so much more to talk about. My goodness. How about Barack Obama? Wait till you hear what he says about Loudoun County. What? Coming up next on the Wendy Bell Radio program.
Another local radio host.
Is this making money off of t-shirts?
Which one? They can hear it. God forbid someone will yell at me if I push the button to where they can't hear. Okay, I don't even know now because he walked out of the room. See, he's talking about another local radio host saying that I really don't care. I'm not paying attention to them. Yeah. I don't consider them competition. Oh.
Oh, yeah, baby. Let's go, Brandon.
Well, he can be outraged. He who shall not be named because I don't want to give him publicity.
Whatever.
Anyone around here knows who it is. But you know
I don't
what?
care.
Be outraged.
Doesn't
of all
bother
the
me
things
in
to
the
be
least.
outraged for, you know, like get over yourself.
Best wishes.
Yeah.
Always best wishes.
Get over yourself.
Hope he's doing well.
I hope you don't think we care. I would hate you to lose any sleep thinking that we care. Brock, don't give a second thought to the person that issues with you muting. I don't.
Twizzlers.
Listen, Brock doesn't care about much. Yes, I did just do that because I know you hate it. Talking third person.
Yeah. When Joe wants to get me, he talks about Joe this, Joe that.
Yeah. You can't hurt my feelings.
Well, you know what was cute? We got a really great email from a gentleman struggling with a medical condition.
Yes.
And he was really down. And he started listening to the show. And he had followed me for a while and had seen me, really one of the first very public, I believe, victims of cancel culture back in 2016. Whatever. And then get fired from a radio station because the left got triggered, and then get fired again because I wouldn't do whatever. And he wrote in there, he says, you coming back so many times and fighting saved my life. And I was like, he said, you show me that it's worth fighting for and that you just be you. And I was like, right on. You know, you have to, the only way for people to hurt your feelings is for you to let them. And
Right.
And there are so few people who I hold in very high regard who would even come close to having access to my heart that, you know, I've never been down with the popularity contest. Like I'm not down with putting on fake eyelashes to be on TV.
I've never won any awards.
I'm like, you know what? I have.
Wow. Look at that. I give her that nice softball so she can.
I'm teasing. But, you know, it's like, whatever.
Shane, you're right. He does hate our shirts, but whatever.
I love him. I love him and wear him with pride.
That's all I can say.
Triggered. Mm-hmm. Love it.
I know who I am. This is why.
This draws more attention to us, which is great. Bad publicity is awesome. Bring it.
Not just that.
Hate me.
The people that don't understand why they can't get under my skin is because I know who I am.
That's all I say to my kids. Know who you are.
Yeah. Like I don't judge myself on what you think of me. Because your standards are never going to be as high as mine. So.
Amen. That's very sage. That means wise. That was really wise.
Wow. This is my favorite shirt, though. The triggered. That's
the best.
I like it.
I'm going to get Shizzle too, because that's good. Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I was surprised. My brother paid up. He asked for a family discount. I said, family discount? I didn't even get a discount.
You know, and here's the thing. I would imagine a fair number of people who are frequent flyers on this show feel the exact same way that I speak. But there are a lot of people out there who don't. That's fine. You don't have to.
You and I don't.
You don't have
agree
to.
on everything.
That's why this is great. You're entitled to your opinion, and I will fight like hell for you to have it. You know, I would be out there protesting and picketing something I fundamentally disagreed with if somebody's rights were being trampled on. I just would. Why not?
And shirts are being made and being sent out.
All made in America, ladies
right
and
now.
gentlemen. All made in America.
First 150 orders are going out today.
How many do we have, orders-wise?
900.
There's
You guys have been great.
900.
35 individual items, but a lot of those are mugs.
How many individuals?
1,430.
Yeah. And the black mugs are not ready yet. So you guys bought them. So we've already had to reorder. So, and because they're being made for us, when we call them, there's a whole process for them to make them and then ship them to us. So
Plus, because no one can get anything from China, it's taking longer because American-made stuff is literally on back order.
Bubba from 100.7 is not Brock's brother. No.
No. I'm related to no.
You come here for the snarkiness. Lee, I'm not snarky.
Yeah, she is, Lee. I get it at 4:30 in the morning.
I'm honest. Sometimes it's...
Tell me I'm lying.
Sometimes it's rough around the edges, but it's always fabulous.
Using facts to take on the woke politicians, triggered leftists, and the corporate media.
You just got to try harder not to suck.
Live across the fruited plain and from sea to shining sea. You're listening to the Wendy Bell Program.
So welcome back, everybody. You are tuned into the one and only Wendy Bell Radio program. Love to have you along, starting another busy work week. A nice Monday. You know, I do want to talk about Barack Obama. You know, if the left is bringing Barack Obama out of Cape Cod or wherever the hell his mansion is, and having him campaign for Terry McAuliffe, we know that Terry McAuliffe is in trouble. It's interesting. There are signs across Virginia, and several people sent me snapshots of them, that said, keep parents out of schools, elect Terry McAuliffe. I was like, I really hope somebody on the right made those, because that would tick off anybody who has half of a brain, right? Before we get into that, because I think what Barack Obama said on behalf of McAuliffe yesterday, I believe, is so tone deaf and so insulting, particularly to the young woman who was reportedly raped in a Loudoun County high school bathroom, whose rape was then lied about, not appropriately reported to authorities, and covered up by the school superintendent. All the while, the school is, we know, thanks to Judicial Watch and 3,400 pages it got in a Freedom of Information Act request, proving that the school board's claims in Loudoun County that they are absolutely not testing CRT is incorrect. Shocker. Wow. Aren't you just constantly shocked? I'd like to take your attention for a minute and talk about my shirt and the whole Let's Go Brandon phenomenon. I think it is an important discussion point. I think it is delicious that it triggers the left, because to me, it's funny. So for those of you who are new to this and aren't familiar with why I'm wearing this, several weeks ago, after his win at Talladega in NASCAR, a NASCAR driver named Brandon, I forget his last name, I beg your pardon, I do not follow NASCAR religiously, was being interviewed about his big win. It was a beautiful video shot, right? So the reporter, cute reporter from NBC is interviewing him, and he's so excited. He's got the fresh face of a young guy who's like, oh my goodness, I just won this. This is so cool. The sun is setting behind the speedway. The stands are still a total mob. And the people are chanting, F Joe Biden. Okay, so obviously, and I don't know if she was fast on her feet or if she was trying to cover, or if she misheard, the reporter said as cover, because obviously nobody wants to hear F on a national broadcast. I feel the same way as the people chanting it, and I probably wouldn't be among the people. Yes, I would. Anyway, so they're chanting F Joe Biden, and she's like, oh, how nice. They're chanting, let's go Brandon. Whatever the rationale was, it ended up being very cute and ended up being a rallying cry as a safe and clean way for people who are not down with this administration and its dangerous, inept, and corrupt policies to share their thoughts that Joe Biden is a disaster. FJB. So let's go Brandon took hold. It was a very easy thing for people to be able to say to one another. In fact, there was a congressman on the floor of the House of Representatives or the Senate, I forget which one, who ended whatever his commentary was on the record by saying, and let's go Brandon. That's how far it has spread. It is a movement. It is a feeling ensconced in 3 simple words, none of which are dirty or offensive, that illustrate we don't like you. We don't like what you're doing. None of it. We think you're bad for our country. Period. So this notion on the left that let's go Brandon is this offensive, dog whistle. Next they're going to say this is where all, racists, bigots, homophobes, all of these people, this is where they all get together. It's under that blanket, the let's go brand. No, it just means we don't like the president. We don't like any of them. And if that triggers you, we like this even more. I'm now delighted by it. I'm going to make it in all sorts of colors. Hell, I'll make a rainbow. Let's go, Brandon. So my friends in the gay community who dislike this president as much as I do can proudly wear it and represent. It'll be 2 in 1, right? It'll be a BOGO. You can make a statement and say, I don't like this president. But I find this faux trigger, and I believe it's faux because you can't be an adult and be upset by let's go Brandon unless you're a dope. Okay? And if that suits you, I feel for you and God bless you. Make sure you wear your mask when you drive alone in your car. If let's go Brandon triggers the left, it just goes to show you they're all about emotion. It hurts my feelings. I don't like that. No, I love that. Because it's a clean, safe way to join with other people. And those who see me wearing this shirt, they're like, right on. Let's go, Brandon. Did you guys see the announcements on like in the airport, and they're paging LESKO, let's go, Brandon? It's hilarious. Look, I want to laugh about what's going on, or else I'll cry. What this guy has done to our country, what the left has done to our country under, weekend at Bernie's Biden is reprehensible. It's indefensible. And the lines they want to continue to push, I can't stand for it. And I'm also intrigued by these leftists bothered by let's go Brandon. You guys are the same jags who called Donald Trump a rapist, right? You likened him to Adolf Hitler. Joseph Stalin to Mussolini. How many names did you call Donald Trump? And you're going to pretend like Let's Go Brandon is beyond the pale? Can you believe? That's so trashy. Well, if it's trashy, I'm trashy. Bring it. Done. Anyway, wanted to get that out. So let's get back to Virginia, shall we? Barack Obama calls outcry over Loudoun County rape cover-up phony, trumped-up culture war. I want you to think about that for a minute because I'm going to play his sound for you in just a sec. I'm not going to do it yet because I really want you to be able to sit on it. I'm going to go back for those of you who are unfamiliar. Loudoun County, Virginia. School board out of control. CRT actively being taught in school. We have proof. Stop lying to us. Student is sodomized. If you don't know what the word sodomy means, look it up. It's disgraceful. 9th grade girl sodomized in the female bathroom after the school is chewing on transgender fluid bathrooms. So a boy wearing a skirt rapes her in the bathroom. They call the police, not on the boy, but on her father, on the victim's father, who when he gets to school and finds out his daughter wasn't just assaulted, she was sexually assaulted. She was raped. He loses his mind. They call the cops on him. Are you kidding me? They go to the hospital. Police escort because, he's such a violent threat. Never mind the student, who then was able to be put into another school where he assaulted another girl. Great job. They find out through a rape kit. In fact, yes, she was raped. He goes to the school board meeting months later and says, look, I got to tell you guys, this transgender bathroom stuff, they drag him out before he can even express what happened to his daughter. Then the school superintendent lies on the record, quoting some Time magazine story from 2016 that somehow proved that transgender people aren't a danger to others. Wow, I feel so much better now. Whereas we have the proof right here in our student body. It's also been uncovered that the superintendent didn't report the assault or other sexual assaults on school campus for years. Houston, we have a problem. And now we have a governor hopeful who was a lackey as a first term in Terry McAuliffe who wants to come back, who the Democrat Party has all their eggs in his corrupt little basket so he can win. And Obama comes out of wherever he is on Cape Cod or Martha's Vineyard or wherever, where he and Michelle are throwing lavish birthday parties without masks, for thee, but not for me, to say, you know what? This Loudoun County outcry, the rape cover-up, that's just phony, trumped-up culture war. Wow. I guarantee you that Barack Obama has no idea what he's talking about. I guarantee you he did not read the reports of the 9th grade girl who was anally raped. Guarantee you. But he's out there saying any parent who wants to speak up on behalf of their child, well, that's just a Trumper. How dare you? Let's go, Brandon. Bruce Freshwater is a friend of ours, Brock's and mine, a friend of this program. He's a veteran, so I have great esteem for him, great regard. He's also super bright, and he noticed a niche many years ago when he started Sierra Experts to create one-stop shopping for small business owners, where you could find the smartest people in the information technology sphere to help with website design, software, social media marketing, messaging, sales, all of it. One place where your website hums. One place that manages any problem and manages it now. That place is Sierra Experts. If you've not checked out their website and seen their testimonials from all walks of life from all across the country, please do so. Go to sierraexperts.com or call this number, 412-379-8333. You need experts on your team. That's Sierra Experts. When we come back, a little Barack Obama sound for you. Telling all you parents, you know what? It's just trumped up garbage. Phony dog whistle. Oh my. That's coming up next on the Wendy Bell radio program.
You know what I don't understand?
Hmm.
A lot, but
There's so much we could talk about.
Yeah, we could really unpack that.
That was an open door policy.
Right. How anyone's triggered by a T-shirt?
It's not that though. It's not that.
It's
the alarming degree to which people from all walks of life are joining forces with a common goal, and that is to say, we don't like you and you're terrible for this country. I think if you give voice to the opposition that way, look, what have they tried to do? They've silenced us on social media. Big tech is doing its job. You've got the media doing whatever they can to silence it. So when you have grassroots and the grass is starting to take root, it's a very scary thing, I think. And those in media who don't like it are jealous. Whatever.
Right.
Whatever.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, why would you even listen? If I don't like something you're doing, I don't even pay attention. I mean,
it's a strange. It's a strange focus. It's a strange focus. It's like they have to go 100%, like dox you at your job and find where you live and vandalize your house, and I just don't care.
Right.
I just don't care about you, which I think is worse.
Whoa, apathy is much better than
apathy or pity.
Ooh.
Pity's pretty nasty.
Yeah, I
There's
don't
some
like
people
pity.
like pity. Yeah,
I don't like.
I'd rather you hate me,
right,
and be like, I pity. And some people are like, I pity you, and I'm like, oh, it's fine.
That's the bless your heart.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care because I don't know you.
Pity me for my working environments.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, I said it on the record.
Mm-hmm. Good to know. So you remember before when we were monitored and our voices were recorded and video was taken of us? I won't do that to you. I just have it on Facebook and the app. We're cutting pumpkins today. And if you call them pumpkins, I will go through this plain glass window and I will strangle you.
Pumpkin.
I hate that.
Pumpkin.
I hate that. Pumpkin. Pumpkin pie. I'm like, ugh.
Pumpkin pie.
I like pumpkin pie.
Oh, Wendy is triggered. Pumpkin. Okay, Pumpkin. You have a good show now, Pumpkin.
Payback hurts, man.
Huh?
Payback hurts.
I'm not afraid of you.
You should be. All right, without further ado, Barack Obama calls outcry over Loudoun County rape cover-up phony trumped-up culture war. This is Obama campaigning for former Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe, who, by the way, is the world's worst orator, period. He's tragic to listen to. Urged voters to dismiss controversial issues raised by parents of children in public schools. Think about that. Urged voters to dismiss controversial issues like the forced sodomy of a 9th grade 14-year-old girl in a bathroom by a skirt-wearing boy who alleged he was trans. Got it. Let's hear from Barack himself.
We don't have time to be wasting on these phony, trumped-up culture wars, this fake outrage that right-wing media peddles to juice their ratings, and the fact that he's willing to go along with it instead of talking about serious problems that actually affect serious people, that's a shame. That's not what this election's about. That's not what you need, Virginia. Instead of forcing our communities to cut back at a time when we're just starting to recover, we should be doing more to support people who are educating our kids and keeping our neighborhoods safe.
Did you hear the 5 people who clapped for him? That's the former president of the United States, the first Black president of the United States. 8 people were like, by the way, the point isn't about not funding. Don't conflate the ideas here, Barack. We just don't want critical race theory. Did you guys see that President Biden's press or town hall or whatever that disaster was last week on CNN? Wow, that was an absolute ratings crusher. Just kidding. 1.16 million people tuned into that. 1.16 million people. The most voted for president ever, Mr. Build Back Better himself, 1.16 million. 1/12 of the population of Pennsylvania, of all 50 states. 1.16. And Barack Obama is out there saying, we need to push back against these policies on the far right in the media. What are you so afraid of? Besides the truth, besides of us exposing you for the hacks that you are. It's actually delicious to watch. They're afraid, and they should be afraid. By the way, where's the investigation into Merrick Garland? Where's the investigation into his connections to his daughter's husband, who owns or is a CEO of one of the top CRT race peddling educational platforms in the country, whose garbage instruction is already in 1/4 of our public schools? Has anybody investigated his wife and her connection to the voting systems out there? ES&S, anybody? Are we doing anything, Houston? Barack Obama just wants you to know that if you're a teacher in Virginia, you ought not try to get involved in your kids' classrooms. You should not know what's going on. Just like Terry McAuliffe said, parents don't belong. We don't think you deserve to know what they're reading, what they're being taught. Well, they picked the wrong community to fiddle with. Obama dismissed the recent controversies as fake outrage and trumped up culture wars. It's not fake, Barack. It's not fake to be outraged by the rape of a student. It's not fake to be outraged when your school superintendent covers it up. It's not fake outrage when your school board has allowed and has in fact assisted in the introduction of critical race theory in your schools. That's not fake outrage. That's outrage. That's parents who say, you know what? We know how the Nazis did it, and you ain't doing it to our kids. We're not about you teaching our students. We know what's best for them. I think this makes me circle back, if you will, to why Ron DeSantis is such a formidable foe here. Everything that he has done has, quote unquote, followed the science. He's spoken about the value of the vaccine to certain individuals. He's spoken about if you want to get it, get it. Old people should get it first, period. If you want your kids to wear masks, wear masks. But if you want to open up, open up. You want to claim your business, do it. He's now offering his ports to everybody over in California. Bring your stuff over here. We already operate 24/7. Don't know what the hell they're doing over on the left coast, but here on the right, we're already doing this. Bring it on over. And by the way, you got to love his $5,000 incentive to any police officer unvaccinated who relocates to the beautiful state of Florida. That's called common sense conservatism. Yes. You're listening to the Wendy Bell Radio program. Oh my, oh my, oh my.
We have everything that you could possibly need to become the best version of yourself through fitness. Check us out at morgainsfitness.com. That's MORGAINZ fitness.com. We've taken all the excuses out of it, and we can help you live your best life.
I don't understand how Barack Obama can have daughters and think that this is some kind of fake outrage. And the left is nothing but fake outrage. Getting triggered because of a shirt that says "Let's go, Brandon." Getting triggered for being misgendered, or I'm sorry, not using the right pronoun. It's ridiculous that the things that hurt, getting your feelings hurt from someone that you don't know makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't know you. Now, plenty of you people are, I'm sure, fine people. But if someone says something to me about me or Wendy that's mean on here, I don't know you. Obviously, we agree politically on a lot of things, and we have things in common, but I don't know you. This is where Facebook and social media has watered down the word friend so much. And to sit here and get worried about what people think that you don't even know, it blows my mind. I was on a soapbox.
Wow, shocking.
Wow.
What were you saying?
No, I was just saying that, we don't know each other. So it's like, I was saying how if someone says something mean about me or you on the stream, I don't take it personal. So for Barry to not take it personal, you have daughters. It's not fake outrage. They live in fake outrageville. When a shirt triggers you, when not being called the right pronoun triggers you, these are things that I don't care.
This is what Dave Chappelle talked about so much. He's like, we had legitimate slavery in our country. My people were lynched.
Right.
I mean, we were property, bought and sold property. And you guys are upset over feelings. He says, and you've been able to move the needle talking to the transgender LGBTQ community. He's like, I'm jealous. But you can tell he's angry. He's like,
sure.
Why is everybody backing you? Can't we just be treated fairly? Can we just not have a fair shake?
Well, who doesn't? I told you about a conversation I had at the shop. A guy was trying to defend the Loudoun County bathroom situation. And
indefensible.
He was telling me, he was a black man, and he started saying, well, what's it matter? Who are you to tell someone to use a bathroom? And my comment was, I'm not telling you. The sign on the door that says men and women is telling you which one you belong in.
Right.
And he's like, what about a high school kid transitioning? I'm like, you're not allowed.
Right.
But he brought
for the 200 people, if it's even that,
well,
it's the bike lanes. It's the roundabouts. We're going to change things around to accommodate an infinitesimal number of people. Everybody else is going to be possibly put at risk or inconvenienced, but that's the Democrat way.
And
good work.
He did exactly what you said he did too before. He immediately turned it to race. I'm like, you're talking about two different things.
Yeah. If you can't win an argument,
science.
just play the race
I looked
card.
at him and I had Joe's FU46 sweatshirt on.
Uh-huh.
So I looked at him and said, listen, you're trying to argue science with math.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And I'm just like, you're talking about two different things.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, what's science? I'm like, gender. I was like, I wish your parents would have had this conversation with you. There's a male and a female.
If you have a penis,
if they love each other enough.
That's how it used to be, at least.
Yeah, right.
That's how it used to be.
When
and
you
then they'll
love
stick
someone,
together.
Yes.
Raise you together. There's that weird thing.
But I told him, I was like, you can drop the black and white thing. You can call me a racist. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. Then he brought up Breonna Taylor. And I said, the facts don't back you up.
I bet you if you asked him details of that, he wouldn't be able to tell you.
He didn't.
And then,
like I said,
that's where the race card is dropped. You're a racist.
Yeah, look at the facts. They don't back up with what you're saying, but you go ahead and look for them. I'll wait. Here we go.
I'm delighted that you're listening to the Wendy Bell radio program. Thank you. I did want to get to a couple more blips of sound before we're done. Cuts 10 and 11, Brock. I think this is so telling of incompetence. And this is where my shirt comes into play and why the feeling of so many Americans, not all of them on the right, mind you, but a lot of people waking up or having been awakened to the absolute ridiculous policies of this administration. So one of my favorite sound bites that we took from the Biden town hall on CNN last Thursday was Joe Biden being asked about the border. And Anderson Cooper or somebody says, have you been to the border lately? And he said, Biden says, no, I'm super busy. But Jill's been there. Jill's been there a couple times. Oh, well, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Because I'm sure all of you would have felt much more at ease if during some national crisis, say a hurricane, Melania choppered in, right? Oh, okay. Phew. I feel so much better. The first lady is there who has absolutely no power to do anything. Awesome job. Jill's been there, he said. So, of course, Jen Psaki is asked for edification. And it comes out that actually Joe Biden was at the border in 2008. So 13 years ago, he drove by. And that equals he understands what's going on with the crisis he created at the border that they blame Trump for every single day. I want you to hear this back and forth here. Peter Doocy from Fox and your illustrious, one of the best ever press secretaries, Jen Psaki. 10.
Why did President Biden say he has been to the border?
Well, Peter, as you may have seen, there's been reporting that he did drive through the border when he was on the campaign trail in 2008, and he is certainly familiar with the fact, and it stuck with him, with the fact that in El Paso, the border goes right through the center of town. But what the most important thing everyone should know and understand is that the president has worked on these issues throughout his entire career and is well-versed in every aspect of our immigration system, including the border. That includes when he was vice president, and he went to Mexico and Central America 10 times to address border issues and talk about what we can do to reduce the number of migrants who are coming to the border. He worked in a bipartisan manner with senators like Ted Kennedy, Harry Reid, John McCain, and others to push for comprehensive immigration reform. He does not need a visit to the border to know what a mess was left by the last administration. That's his view.
Let's go, Brandon. I mean, come on. Really? The mess that was left by the last administration. So 13 years ago, Joe Biden drove by. Okay. So ask yourself this question. How much has your neighborhood changed in 13 years? It has, right? How about your city? Right. Think about the border. Think about what this man has done. Think about the video now making its way across social media, lighting it up. Have you seen the new quote unquote caravan? They're marching with a purpose, folks. They know they're in. They're in. They got some designer shoes on. We got cell phones. We got it. We're on our way. This is freedom. I'm going to get all my free stuff. I'm going to get my free Obama phone. I'm going to get Obama money. It's so disingenuous. 1.7 million encounters with illegal aliens at the southern border alone so far this year. Last year, under the prior administration, as she likes to say, something like 450,000. Now, my math isn't always the best, but my rudimentary skills tell me that that's about 3.5 times more people before the end of this year. Really? And I really like how Psaki uses what Biden did as a vice president. Oh, he worked on stuff. It's sort of what happens in all of our careers, all of our businesses, yes? Some fat cat bureaucrat who's never pushed the buttons, who's never done the show, who's never done the heart catheterization, decides it's good to make some sweeping new rule. God forbid we should talk to the people who it impacts. There you go. There's your government. Fantastic. So Peter Doocy, cut number 11, asks her further. Go.
Does that count as a visit? He said, I've been there before. You're saying he drove by for a few minutes. Does that count?
What is the root cause? Where are people coming from who are coming to the border, Peter?
The president said that
I'm asking you a question because I think people should understand the context.
No,
where do people
I'm asking you if that
Okay, I'll answer it for you. People come from Central America and Mexico to go to the border. The president has been to those countries 10 times to talk about border issues. There is a focus right now on a photo op. The president does not believe a photo op is the same as solution.
What? How about the Haitians? She forgot the Haitians because there was a hell of a lot of them under the Del Rio Bridge. Somehow they're getting transported from Haiti, which last time I checked, you can't hop, skip, and jump across the ocean to get to Mexico to make your way north into the United States of America. He's not going to go for a photo op. Wouldn't he go because it's the right thing to do because he created the mess? And did you notice the question that she asked? When somebody can't answer the question or is in a position that they cannot defend, one of the greatest tactics that's so obvious is reversing it onto the person who's asking, the person who holds the keys to the argument, and reversing it to them, asking them a question. Doocy, to his credit, didn't fall for it. Don't ask a question. Don't answer a question with a question. I'm asking you. Does driving by really count as a visit? No. There you go. Jen Psaki, yes, one of the best press secretaries ever. So says Fox News' Chris Wallace. Okay. I think this is important. You guys should hear this. NSBA apologizes for letter describing potential domestic terrorism at school board meetings. Aw, let's not make sure this gets out. The National School Boards Association has issued an apology for a letter it sent to the Biden administration late last month that asked the Department of Justice to crack down on, quote, threats of violence and acts of intimidation at local school board meetings. And mind you, no threats or acts of violence that have ever been documented or verified. But don't let the facts get in the way of your fiction. Days after the letter was sent, Attorney General Merrick Garland announced he was ordering the FBI to investigate a recent spike in, quote, harassment, intimidation, and threats of violence against school board members. And when asked in a House meeting last week, he admitted that, in fact, the only real threats he ever heard about were in this very letter and on news reports. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your Attorney General. Awesome. The original NSBA letter asked the Biden administration to use the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act. To treat parents who want control over their children's curriculum and don't want them raped in bathrooms, domestic terrorists. That might be something that's controversial. On Friday, the NSBA apologized for that letter and the language used in it, only because people went nuts. In addition, the association apologized for not getting prior approval from the organization's board to send said letter. Quote, and you can just feel like the oozing sorrow from this. Oh, that's right, you won't. On behalf of NSBA, we regret and apologize for the letter, the organization wrote. To be clear, the safety of school board members, other public school officials, and educators and students is our top priority. And there remains important work to be done on this issue. Well, as a just small suggestion, you might want to prevent 9th grade girls from getting sodomized in your bathrooms and then lying about it. That could be a good first step. We should have had better process in place to allow for consultation on a communication of this significance. We apologize also for the strain and stress this situation has caused you and your organizations. As we've reiterated since the letter was sent, we deeply value not only the work of local school boards that make important contributions within our communities, but also the voices of parents who should and must continue to be heard when it comes to decisions about their children's education, health, and safety. If we hadn't talked about this, ladies and gentlemen, if other conservative right-wingers on the radio hadn't talked about this, if One American News, Right Side Broadcasting, Newsmax Television, you know, those scourges of misinformation. If we hadn't talked about this, you never would have heard about it. And that is the biggest disgrace. That is why Let's Go Brandon says so very much. So later today, if you're even inclined to pay attention to any of your normal news outlets, I wonder how much the puppy story of Dr. Fauci and the NIH and the NIAID being caught using $2 million in taxpayer money to fund research to basically mutilate and torture beagle puppies. Puppies. I wonder how much that will be the headline splashed across your paper in the morning. Dr. Fauci tied to torture of baby dogs. Wait for it. And then put on your Let's Go Brandon shirt, because they might not have your back, but we do. I want to tell you about Morgane's Fitness. You know how I feel about fitness, about working out, about staying in shape. It's important for your brain as it is important for your body. And I think it's probably the first thing that we let go when we get busy or stressed out, right? It's time to reclaim that body and get your head on straight again. And if you live in the Somerset or Cambria County area, there are 4 More Gains fitness facilities for you to choose from. Kelly Morgan and her family, well, they're veterans and they're wonderful people. And they treat you like a patriot, and they're there to help you. 24/7, they're open, vast array of membership options, and the special stuff, the personal trainers, the metabolism testing, the body composition analysis, even child care to go with all of the things inside their wonderful facilities. Give Kelly a call or go online right now. More Gains Fitness, MORGAINZ Fitness.com. They support this program and we support them. MoreGainsFitness.com. When we come back, oh my goodness, thank you. I am so delighted that we have some parameters now on how we should and shouldn't dress up for Halloween. This is important stuff, and it's big from the Anti-Defamation League. They know what you should be donning on October 31st. We'll let you know the ins and outs of that next on the Wendy Bell Radio program.
JD after coming out. I like how Jen Psaki said that he worked bipartisan. Kennedy, the guy from Nevada, what was his name?
Not Romney.
No. Oh, he's retired now. Old
Well,
guy.
then McCain. McCain might have been
He's
on
as
the
much of a Democrat as he was Yeah. Harry Reid.
Oh, God.
Or not Harry Reid.
Harry Reid.
Harry Reid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bipartisan. If the closest you get is John McCain to bipartisan.
Yeah. Houston, you've got problems.
Yeah.
I agree.
John McCain.
Oh, Robert says he thinks we should invite Biden and Fauci and all of them to the battlegrounds. That's a great idea.
They'll
Man,
make
we
us
could
wear
sell
masks.
that bad boy out.
They'll make us wear masks.
Yeah. Well, no, Matt won't.
Wait, maybe we'll have face shields.
Don't dress as Transformers.
Just as long as we don't invite Alec Baldwin.
Oh, my.
That's another one. You think anything will happen to Alec Baldwin? No. Dude, you don't point a gun, period. You don't point a gun at someone, period. That you don't intend to shoot. Simple as that.
The whole thing's tragic. John D'Onofrio is the lawyer I trust with some of life's most delicate and personal matters, like passing your wealth on to the people you love after you're gone. John helps people like you and like me make estate plans and set up trusts. He's got nearly 40 years of experience, so he knows how to guide you through the legal maze to tailor a customized estate plan that's right for you. He understands the nuances of estate and inheritance taxes, so give him a call today. Get your complimentary initial consultation by calling 412-928-2068, 412-928-2068, John D'Onofrio. You know, thank goodness. You couldn't even make this up. The Anti-Defamation League weren't really. Come on. The ADL warns, avoid culturally insensitive, gender-conforming Halloween costumes. How about you just suck it? Okay? How about that? How about we decide what we want to do, and you all can go cry on your yoga mats and do exactly what Senator Kennedy said, hyperventilate on your yoga mats.
And stop sucking.
And just, do you have that soundbite anywhere? It is the gift that keeps on giving. And for you, the ADL, here it comes.
I say this with respect, with all the respect I can muster. You've just got to try harder not to suck.
I I mean, really, every single time I hear that, I will giggle, and I plan to overuse it because it's just brilliant. Okay, this is from Breitbart, but it's true, okay? The increasingly partisan, have they ever not been? Anti-Defamation League interjected itself into the annual Halloween debate this week when the organization advised parents, suck it. We don't need your advice. Are you there when my child is up in the middle of the night with a fever? Are you there advising and staying up and rocking him back to sleep? Because if you're not, you can suck it. Go away. Sorry, I digress. Said the organization advised parents to avoid Halloween costumes that are culturally insensitive and perpetuate gender norms. Ugh. Quote, Halloween is a week away and you and your family might be brainstorming costume ideas. The ADL tweeted Sunday, spoken like a completely out of touch bureaucracy. Check out our resource for reminders about how and why to avoid cultural appropriation, cultural stereotypes, and costumes that perpetuate gender norms. It's supposed to be funny. It's like a comedy act. It's intended to be funny. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Turn off your lights. Be that family that doesn't participate. According to ADL, parents should not let their children indulge in the desired costume if it appropriates from any culture, most especially Native American. Why the hell not? We just gave them like $100 billion in all of the CARES Act, right? Can we at least not dress up as a Navajo and get away with it? Apparently you cannot. It's culturally insensitive. If the child asks to dress up as Pocahontas, the ADL advising parents use it as a teaching opportunity. Can we just get somebody on the ADL from the ADL on the line? I've got to talk to these idiots. I'm going to sit down with my kids now, honey. I know Pocahontas is a Disney movie and that she was a beautiful princess, but you really shouldn't wear that because it makes you bigoted. What? It's what the Anti-Defamation League says, so we're going to go with it. Said no one ever. Help children understand that Halloween costumes are only fun or funny when they don't hurt or make fun of other people or spread stereotypes. No, they're fun and funnier when they do. And if that's not your Halloween, suck it. Beyond mere costumes that incorporate sombreros, words that I can't pronounce here that obviously have something to do with culture, the ADL also cautioned against costumes that offend people of lower economic status, such as hobos, bums, or rednecks. Why? Do you know who doesn't care about being called a redneck? A redneck. They don't care. They want to be a redneck. They're proud of redneckery. Suck it. While costumes targeted to boys place heavy emphasis on superheroes and action figures, choices like those convey the message that boys should be scary and gruesome. Many children are attracted to traditional gendered costumes. Think girls who love princesses or boys who are obsessed with action heroes. When that's the case, it's best not to reinforce that these are the only appropriate options available. Suck it. Controversy over the potential insensitivity of Halloween costumes sparked in 2015 when, Yale University's Intercultural Affairs Council demanded that students be better educated about the harms associated with costumes that appropriate other cultures. Well, there you have it. Deeply engendered in leftist ideology that's now spread all across our colleges and universities, why one should go to a trade school. Boom. Become an electrician.
With respect,
there you go.
With all the respect I can muster.
Boom.
You've just got to try harder not to suck.
I mean, that's all you can say. That there was more than one individual who sat down and was like, I'm gonna write an opinion piece, okay? I'm gonna put it out to see where it goes. I bet you all these idiots were together going, yeah, that's great. Make sure you put in something about, those too, Mexicans, don't do that, yeah. Really? I remember one of my favorite costumes was a friend of mine who had when Siegfried and Roy had their mishap. Which one was it that got that got mauled by the tiger or whatever? And it was funny. He had blood all over him, and he had a baby tiger stuck to it. I mean, come on, if we can't laugh ever, I'm not saying I want people to suffer, but stop ruining everything that's even remotely fun for people. Just suck it.
We might have to come up with what I'm going to dress up as and see how many inappropriate things we can get into one costume.
Really? Okay.
I think that would be fun.
Well, do you have any initial ideas?
No.
Wow. So
Maybe Fauci.
You wanted to do a Dr. Doom?
Yeah. Maybe some...
You go like that. I'll go like Bernie Sanders. And I can use the same voice because it's sort of like this. It's the same thing. Do the right thing.
Maybe I'll go as AOC.
Do the right thing. Wow. That'll be good.
And
I love it.
I can wear a dress and write on Tax the Rich.
Tax the Rich.
Or Don't Suck.
Don't suck. I think that it's very basic. We have very basic needs, ladies and gentlemen. And just don't suck. Let's go, Brandon. Till tomorrow. Love you guys. Peace.